back with, there we are. Back with chapter 6, question number 7, 3502. This is an extension of question number 4 using the same information. So we're given T-bills yield 8% or 0.08, probabilities and for stock fund and bond fund. Probabilities for the stock fund, expected return of 0.2 with a standard deviation of 0.30. For the bond fund, expected return of 0.12 and standard deviation of 0.15. We're also told the correlations between the two are 0.10. We remember correlations have to be between -1 and +1. So we'll do this in two parts. First, we're asked what is the optimal risky portfolio, so the blend of stock fund and bond fund. And second, what is the expected return and standard deviation of this portfolio? We're going to use formula on page 219. Okay, so this formula gives us the excess return on stocks times variance for bonds minus excess return for bonds times covariance, all divided by our excess return for stocks, again times variance for bonds, plus excess return for bonds times variance for stocks. That's repeated. Excess return on stocks plus excess return on bonds, again times covariance. So we need our covariance in two places. Page 219, the equation actually gives us the calculations for debt funds. So we could change this. That would change this to excess return on the bond fund times variance for the stock fund. So remember, excess return is times the variance for the other fund or the other investment. And covariance, we've already seen, we solved that. Remember, covariance is rho times the standard deviation for stocks times the standard deviation for bonds. So repeating our correlation, 0.10, standard deviation for stocks, 0.3, standard deviation for bonds, 0.15, and notice my new calculator because I left one on the desk. 0.1 times 0.3 times 0.15 is 0.0045. Okay, so let's just put that close aside because we're going to work with some of this again. So cancel the calculator. So restating the weight for the bond fund, let's do weight for the stock fund. Let's do our numerator first. Excess return for stocks, 0.20 minus 0.08 times, now we need the variance for the bond fund. So our standard deviation for the bond fund is 0.15. 0.15 squared, 0.0225. Then the rest of our equation asks us to subtract the excess return on bonds times covariance. Excess return on bonds is 0.12 minus 0.08, and we know covariance is 0.0045. So let's work through this a bit. This 0.2 minus 0.18 simplifies to 0.12. This simplifies to 0.04. And 0.225 times 0.12 is 0.0027 minus 0.0002. It's actually a little longer than that if we use more decimals in our calculator. So 0.0027 minus 0.0002 is approximately 0.0025 to 4 decimal places. So that's our numerator. The denominator is excess return for bonds times, excess return for stocks, to be careful, times variance for bonds, excess return for bonds times variance for stocks, minus this expression times covariance. So, repeating what we have, excess return for stocks, 0.20 minus 0.08 times variance for bonds, 0.225. Now, plus our formula, plus and this is times the standard deviation squared, or variance for stocks. So 0.3 squared is 0.09. And then let's do this. Minus risk premium for stocks plus risk premium or excess return for stocks plus excess return for bonds times covariance. Well, this was easy to do. Excess return for stocks is 0.12. Excess return for bonds, 0.04, so we can resolve that, times 0.0045. Okay, so this simplifies. 0.12 times 0.0225 is 0.0027 plus 0.04 times 0.09 0.0036. Now minus 0.16 times 0.0045. $0.0007. Oof. Oh, wow. Okay, so putting that together, 0.0027 plus 0.0036 minus 0.0007 is, to 4 decimal points, 0.0056. Now, the weight of the stock fund is going to be 0.0025, all divided by 0.0056. This was our numerator, this is our denominator. .0025 divided by 0.0056, 44.64%. And using the Excel spreadsheets to many more decimal points, it should be exactly 0.4516 or 45.16%. Because we stopped at 4 decimal points, it's quite close. We'll continue with the spreadsheet answer with more decimal points when we look at the expected return and standard deviation. Then remember, the weight on the debt or bond portfolio is going to be the total portfolio 1 minus our exposure or our weight. So change that to negative plus 1, 55.36% debt portfolio. We'll use 1 minus 0.4516 for our standard deviation. But for quiz or exam questions, 4 decimal points will suffice. So 1 minus 0.4516 equals 0.5484. Okay, so we know 45% is going to be in the equity fund and approximately 55% excuse me, is going to be in the debt fund, which is fine. So part B is going to ask what's the expected return on the entire portfolio and what's the standard deviation on the entire portfolio. But we'll do that as a separate recording.